Good morning. How can I help you?
Questions for Coach? We're going to start.
Ben, after coming off a game where you guys are dominant on the ground, we talked.
Say that one more time.
You guys were dominant on the ground in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Those counter runs were successful. To have the script be flipped, and you see some of the things that were problematic before. What caused that reversion back to struggling on the ground?
Yeah, obviously not our best day rushing the football. First things first, you got to give credit to the Steelers, right? They came out ready to play. They did a nice job. And, each game is its own deal, right? You have to take each game. It's its own case study. And, they came out. They won a lot of the one-on-one matchups. It was tough. It was tough sledding in the run game. With that being said, though, we showed some character. We kept fighting throughout the course of the game. And we were in position there to make a run at the end. It didn't work out in our favor, but I like the fight that we showed.
You guys did have those chances. I want to ask you about I believe the second series. Sam was like 5 or 6 through the air, 82 yards, and capped the drive with that 5-yard touchdown pass to DJ. What worked on that drive, and how can you replicate that going forward?
Yeah, I can't specifically recall each play, but I do know that Sam took a step last week. That was good to see. He looked like he was playing with some pretty good confidence out there, and our pass game took a step, which was nice to see. Some plays down the field, guys making plays down the field and having opportunities to do that and cashing in there. So that was good to see there, and certainly in that play, you saw his legs kind of come alive where he scrambled a little bit, and DJ did a nice job finding that front pylon. So that goes back to the first day we were together. The number one play in our offense is the scramble drill, and they did a number one pass play in the offense is a scramble drill, and you saw it come to life there in that trip.
And speaking of Sam's legs, can you talk about how just your evaluation on how he navigated the pocket, considering how those edge rushers were really screaming down on him at the play all game?
Yeah, I thought Sam did a good job in the pocket. We're always talking about keeping two hands on the ball, being strong in the pocket. When you have an opportunity to step up in the pocket. And, that's something that you work through each and every week. That's not something that, you stop working on each week. You work on it throughout the season. And, of course, Sam hasn't played a ton, right? He was nicked up earlier in the year, and we're still working to get him a little more comfortable in the pocket. But you saw him take a step last week, and, that's encouraging for us.
What was the look and kind of the rationale behind the quarterback draw down at the 10?
Yeah, where we were on the field, that's a tough D&D for you. So, we had some throws there as an option. It wasn't just a complete draw, so we had some throws built into each side. And then the third option was to run the ball right there. And really trying to get us a little bit closer to force a decision, right, whether you kick it or whether you go for it right there. So we were just trying to see if we could spit the ball out either way and make some progress, maybe score or split the draw, get a little bit closer. And then now you're talking, you get a little bit closer, it opens your book up just a little bit more. I think were we on the 8-yard line there?
I thought it was 3rd and 8 from the 10. But
yeah, it was where we had eight was either was 8 to go or on the 8-yard line, something along those lines. So that's tough in the field, and then when you get down to red zone, it's really challenging because the DBs don't back up much right there, right?
and
So
the options, were those pre-snap?
it was in the flow. It was just in the flow of the play. Yeah, it was in the flow of the play, and they played it well. You have to give.
It looked like he got it, and it was a draw all the way.
Yeah, but he read the play well, and they played it well. So I need to do a better job down there helping them out.
How much of what was going on with the running game was them putting extra men in the box and versus you guys just getting out physical?
I think, all year we really see a bunch of people in the box. That's something that's not new to us. We're going to see every team, we play is going to find a way to get an extra hat in the box versus just the way we play, right? I'm going to give credit to those guys. They did a nice job, whether it was scheme, whether it was one-on-one. But to me, you always give the credit to the players first, and I give those guys credit. And I need to do a job finding better angles for us.
See, with Deontay especially, though, they were, I think, over half of his, or about half of his carries, he was met in the backfield. Specifically, anything on him? Are they keying on him more, or what?
No, I just think they came in with with the desire to stop the run, and they did it. They got it done.
We've seen that a little bit with Deontay before also. Baltimore, I guess. What's been the difference in games where you've really been able to get him on track versus the two we just read?
Yeah, Baltimore, I'm not sure. How many carries did he have in that game?
Not a ton.
He didn't have a ton of carries, and he had 10 last week, right? So I just think you have to get him some touches, get him some green grass, and moving forward. There's one I know he'd like to have back, maybe two he'd like to have back, read-wise, that way. But it's not one guy, it's not one position, it's not one scheme. It's not when something like that happens on Sunday. You just need to take a look at it. You need to take accountability for it, responsibility for it, own it, and then flush it and move on, especially in a short week. And that's what we're doing. That's the approach we're taking.
I understand that there have been times, a lot of times lately, it seems that he gets a decent run, not great, but then before it seemed like you kept feeding him, but this time it seems like y'all pull him out and go with Juba or some other guy. Or is that?
Yep. Well, just sometimes it depends on the situation too, right? So sometimes the plan may be a little bit different when you got longer yardages to go. On second and long is its own situation, and sometimes it's under center pounding the ball, or it's spread them out and either running it or passing it. Depends on what what the down calls for.
What have you seen out of Detroit's defense?
I see they're a young hard charging group. They play hard, they run downhill, they like to hit the gaps. They kind of reflect their head coach and their coaching staff. I know a bunch of guys on the defensive side of the ball, and they play the way they're coached, and they play with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. They try to play one-on-one football, so we'll be challenged whether it's up front or on the perimeter that way. Third down, they like to play a lot of man-to-man, so it'll be a great test for us.
What have they done? It seemed like the first 8 or 9 games, they struggled a little bit against the run too, defensively. And the last 4 or 5 games, seems like they've really gotten things together. What are they doing differently?
Yeah, I think really you take the first half of the season and throw it out the window. I think they were just searching for ways to win games, and recently they found that. They're playing good team football, and I think they kind of settled down a little bit. Right, they're still a young team. They do have a little bit of veteran leadership there, but they got some talent, right? They can get after you up front with a 4-man rush. Sometimes they use a 3-man rush there as well. But they just, to me, they're a young team that's kind of coming into their own and finding ways to win games.
I think we've talked to you about this before, Ben, but in December, I think the forecast Sunday, it's not supposed to be above freezing. Does it affect or impact kind of how you'll call a game?
No, the temperature does not impact the way I'll call a game. No, we got to play. If it's cold, we got to play. If it's warm, we got to play. The wind would factor, and sometimes precipitation will factor. But if we're on a good surface and it's cold, we got to go play.
You going for coach?
All right.
Other than Christmas shop,
The Christmas shopping, man, we had a little secret. We're in the middle of a secret Santa deal at the house right now. So, thank God I have some. Morgan Fleming does a great job here. So, hope my wife's not watching this now, but she's helped me out quite a bit. She does a great job upstairs for us. So, we're doing that. We adopted a family. I think anyone that's sitting at home that can do that, that's a great cause out there. There are people that can use some help. So, it's always good to pay it forward. You can never really pay anybody back for the blessings you've been given, but you can always pay it forward. All right, thanks.